Hi OTC Foodies, it's Terry. So right now we're going to be cooking our schnitzel. All right, let me push this out of the way. So our bread is baking in the oven, our potatoes are roasting, we've got our cucumber salad made, and our banana pudding made. So I've gotten some pork cutlets here, and you can see this is boneless, and it's not that thick, but it's still too thick. Now schnitzel just basically means a thin wafer of meat, and we're going to be frying it. So Germans use pork, and I think Bavaria or some other places uses veal, but this is pork because we don't have veal and it's cheaper anyway. But so I've taken this meat and I've basically just taken a fork and poked it on both sides. That's gonna help tenderize it a little bit. And I'm gonna slip it inside of my ziploc bag. Now, I know you've seen it done with plastic wrap and everything, but I find that makes a big mess because the meat kind of slides around and then you've got meat coming out from the plastic wrap and it's just a hot mess. So I found the Ziploc bag to be the best solution for this. And I have my handy dandy trusty rolling pin. This is tapered here. So as I'm beating it, I'm gonna rotate it a quarter of a turn so that way it's even and thin, okay? You can see it's spreading out, and that's exactly what we want it to do. Sorry if it's loud. All right, so you can see where we started and now what we have. It's a decent sized piece of meat. So next we've got to get it ready to fry. So I've got my dip here, I guess you're gonna say. It's a 3-step process. So first we're gonna take our pork and we're gonna put it in our flour mixture. Now I've seasoned this with salt, pepper, and nutmeg. And to me, nutmeg is really key in this. It gives it that nice little kick to it, a nice flavor. Then I have my egg wash, which is 3 eggs and some milk. And then panko breadcrumbs that I've seasoned with salt, pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg as well. All right, so we're gonna take our pork out of the bag here. And then we're going to put it in our flour mixture here. And then just get a nice thin coat. Now this isn't what we're gonna be looking for that's going to make that nice crispiness to it. It's going to be the panko, but this is going to help the panko adhere as well as the egg wash. And if you want to use breadcrumbs, you can. Panko are just a little bit crispier. Next into our egg wash. Now expect to make a mess and be a mess because this is really, there's no way around it. And then next we have our panko. And you want to make sure it's covered pretty well. All right, so we're going to let this sit for a few minutes, and what we want it to do is just kind of adhere to the meat, and we're gonna work on our oil. So I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes while my oil heats up, and then we're gonna look at frying a piece of our schnitzel. Welcome back. So I've got my oil heating up. It's a neutral oil, canola. You don't want to use anything that's like strong, otherwise it's going to flavor your food. And because this is so thin, it is not going to take long to cook. So you just want it to brown on the side, and then we're gonna flip it over and cook the other side. And this really is just gonna take just a few minutes. All right, and that is our pork schnitzel. Now I'm gonna continue cooking the rest of them, and then we'll come back and I'll serve up a plate so you see what the dinner looks like.